Hey, I recently participated in a game jam, and I had so much fun with it, I wanted to make a video about it and show you some of the stuff I worked on. I've actually done a handful of jams before, all of which being completely online with remote teams, which is why this game jam was special, because it was in person, right in my city. So that meant I just had to join in for fun, but also for any chance I could meet some cool people and network. Oh, and if you've never heard of a game jam before, it's an event where game developers, artists, designers, and musicians get together to make a themed game under a time limit. And yeah, I really enjoyed the whole thing, so let's get into it. This thing started up on a late Friday afternoon in this huge auditorium at my city's main university. Not the one I went to, so it was actually all new to me as well. Things kicked off with a little presentation going over all the rules and stuff before the theme was revealed. That being Dog Days of Summer. When I heard this, I was just thinking of dogs. But apparently, this is a little saying referring to the hottest time of the year, and also has some important meanings with star signs and whatnot. And once we knew all that, we were sent off to mingle and form teams. So I just went around to people and introduced myself and asked what kind of games they were interested in. There were only a handful of audio participants, so that actually worked out in my favor. And it ended up working out great, as after talking a bunch with lots of people, a guy kind of just popped up next to me and was like, "What do you think? Want to join us?" And I was like, "Who's us?" And he points to himself and his quiet friend playing his Switch too. They were both programmers who used Unity. "Yeah, I'm down." And right after that, we snagged another chill guy to be our artist, and our team was locked in and looking epic. Next, we all took a corner of the auditorium to brainstorm ideas. We went through a lot of concepts actually, all in line with this hot weather, summer, dog, possibly constellation theme. And soon, we came up with our concept. That being a dog defending his barbecue grill from animal neighbors. You know, because grilling in the backyard is just a summer thing, right? And you had to play as a cute dog. That went perfect with the prompt. Enemies would spawn in on both sides of the grill, and you'd have to bark at them to scare them away. You could either win by keeping the grill safe until the food was cooked, or have its 3 lives taken by enemies touching it. Super simple and reasonable for a 48-hour jam. But just as we were getting ready to pack up and get to work, a guy comes over to our group, explaining he came in late and nobody would let him into their team because everyone had their plans set by then. Not only that, but he drove here from the next town over, so like an hour away. Our team was unsure, but there was no way in hell I was letting somebody come that far and have nowhere to go. So we restructured our plan to fit another programmer and 3D designer in. And after more group planning and setting up a group chat, we all dispersed, and I went home to plan everything I had to make, and then started recording Saturday morning. While the space was still open for people to work and get together at the university, we also had the option to work remotely, which was perfect for our artist and I, who had equipment at home. First thing in the morning, I got up and started coming up with a main theme for our game, using our concept assets as a jumping off point. This would just play over top of the gameplay, so it had to be summery, lighthearted, and playful, but not too much of that generic happy sound. My first idea had more of a sneaky sound to it, thanks to the bass line, but I switched it up to this cheerful little tune. I sent a draft of this to the team, and it was a hit. So I wrote 3 more versions of it, each getting progressively more involved. Check it out. fun, right? I think they really do sound like the same song over and over again, each one just getting more and more interesting as you play. I think the bongos and marimba really give it that summer vibe without being overly tropical, which I guess wouldn't be too bad either since it's the dog days of summer. After sending those to the team, I recorded a super simple menu theme that uses a few parts from the gameplay themes and slowed it down a bit. And also this little game over melody, just for fun. You may also notice in my session that each track has a fade in and fade out marker on the end of it. All of the gameplay tracks are exactly 32 bars each, with an additional 1 bar of fade on each side. This is so each one can flow into and between each other seamlessly, as well as loop naturally. Pretty handy. Once all the music was done, it was time to do some sound design. I wasn't expecting to be doing sound effects when I entered the jam, since music is always my favorite, but I still love to do it. And plus, I'm the audio person, so just had to, right? I also learned from some people at the jam that offering to work as both a composer and a sound designer may help me find more future game gigs. Anyway, I had made a list the night before of everything I needed. Player dog barking, animal cries for all the enemies, footsteps on grass, a grill sizzling, UI beeps, and background ambience. And this is something I think is very important with sound design. It's not enough to just download a dog bark sound and call that your finished effect. Nah. Dogs have fur that can make sound when they move to bark, or a collar that jingles. Realistic sounds need layers. So that's exactly what I added, as well as a few random sounds just for some pizzazz, like glass clinks and stuff. Once I layered a few sounds I liked, I'd duplicate them and change all the pitches so we had plenty of variation. And this design philosophy stayed true for all the effects I made. All the pieces coming from my bottomless folder of sounds I'd previously recorded or downloaded. And later that night, I got a text from one of the programmers requesting some, and I quote, epic explosion SFX. And luckily, I have like a billion explosion samples thanks to some of my past college projects. So that was no problem at all. Though I was laughing quite a lot when I got the message since our game was so cutesy. Ah yes, the final day of the jam. I'm sure the crunch was real for the programmers, but for me, I was pretty much chillin'. I made a few edits and finalized some stuff on our shared drive, but I was done otherwise. It felt nice, and I had trust in the team to do their parts. It was actually awesome to just do my thing and be done for a change. You know, rather than stress over if everyone else is pulling their weight, then just speed running everything myself. The deadline was 3 p.m., and the presentations were happening at 3:30. So I headed down a bit before then to catch up with the team, who were doing some final debugging before uploading. From what I could understand, which when it comes to programming is very little, it sounds like there were a few hiccups along the way, but was overall a pretty smooth experience. Though the programmers did look totally exhausted by the end of it. Once we were all submitted and done, I made sure to really congratulate them and told them to rest up and chill. We were the third group to present our game, and it was actually really well received. I think all the games were actually really cool, not gonna lie. Even the event coordinators said that they had never seen so many completed projects in a jam before. Pretty much all the games had you play as a dog, but one was a surfer, one had a rocket, and one was a deck builder, all kinds of stuff. And as I'm sure you can guess, I like to talk and present stuff, so I had a really fun time narrating stuff and shouting out our team members, well, someone played our game on the big screen. Because it's just a quick game, it of course had some bugs and stuff, but still really good overall, and the art made it look extra polished. And afterwards, some people even came up to me and complimented my music and asked me some questions. So I was having the best time ever, as you can imagine. And one of the people I spoke with was actually one of the original members of the team who worked on Club Penguin, so I made sure to send him all my portfolio stuff immediately. You never know, right? And his words of encouragement really meant a lot to me. And with that, my first in-person game jam came to an end. It was a blast, and I got to talk and network with a bunch of cool people in my little gamer music world, which is what I wanted out of the whole thing, so it was perfect. Our game was pretty cool, and my team was really fun, so it was a banger experience. And yeah, that's about it for this one. I hope you liked hearing about it. As always, I'm super grateful to all the members of this channel. I even kind of flexed the fact that I have members at all when I was showing my YouTube portfolio at the jam. So thanks for supporting me and letting me say so. It means a lot. And thank you as well for watching this video. See you later. Cheers, guys.